Hey everybody, my name is Gavin and I love horror. Yeah, sorry, I just gotta get a good pump in before we review another hyper masculine, super macho entry into the Predator franchise, so gotta get that good pump. Wait, what? This is actually not a super macho Predator movie? This is actually a very nuanced tale of an indigenous woman fighting the Predator who's making his first hunt on Earth? Is that allowed? Can they do that? I don't know if they're allowed to do that, but that's what they did with the latest entry in the Predator franchise, Prey. When I heard they were making another Predator movie, I was not super excited. And you can tell that in the first part of my reaction video I did for the trailer for Prey. But by the end, after watching the trailer, I was pretty excited. I liked that they were doing something different. And honestly, after watching Prey, which is now streaming exclusively on Hulu, I gotta say, this might be the best Predator movie so far. Let's get into it. As always, before we get started, would love if you would subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button now, leave a like for this video, and it just helps me out. I like when people watch my videos, so by subscribing and liking, it helps more people see these videos and then hopefully like them as well. The Predator franchise is a movie series that has had way more downs than ups. Yes, the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger-led classic is absolutely iconic. It's a great action movie. It's got great puns. It's got great everything. I love it. They touch arms and just flex on each other. But they've had a hard time trying to recapture what made that first Predator so iconic. In 1990, they released Predator 2, which I think is fun. I think it's a very dumb, good, bad movie. Danny Glover does his best to fight the Predator, and I truly like it. It also led to us getting crossovers like Alien vs. Predator, so that was very cool as well. But not all Alien vs. Predator series are created equal. Yeah, the video games are great and sometimes the comic is good, but the movies, for the most part, were pretty disappointing. They tried to give the Predator their own movie again in 2010's Predators, which I thought was a cool concept, but still didn't far too stray from the formula that made the first Predator successful. Take a bunch of people on an island that are the most macho, toughest, biggest murderers of all time, and then have Predators fight them and hunt them. And Adrian Brody gets to kill a Predator, so that's cool, I guess. And then the last entry in the franchise was 2018's The Predator, which is just straight up dog shit. So hearing they were making another movie in the Predator franchise, it seemed like it could have just been a cash grab, could have just been to let Disney have part of that sweet, sweet 20th Century Studios money of the Predator, but honestly, Prey is incredible. It's a great movie. I love the direction they took it in. Instead of setting it in the current day, they've set it 300 years in the past, and you get to explore the Predator coming to Earth for the first time and doing their first hunt. And that first hunt turns out to be against a group of Comanche who are way more formidable than the Predator thought. I love taking the Predator and putting them in the past and putting them against different warriors throughout time, because the Comanche were badasses, and the main character of this is a Comanche female warrior named Naru, who's trying to prove herself to her tribe that she's more than just a doctor. She can do more than just administer medicine, even though she's very talented at that. She wants to be a hunter, and she wants to prove that to her tribe. Throughout the film, you see how this desire to be a hunter kind of clashes with the rest of the tribe, who tends to be at times very misogynistic, telling her like, go home, you don't belong here, you're never gonna be a hunter. That's not what you do in this tribe. But her brother Tabe, even though he kind of sometimes leans into that, like, you don't have what it takes to be a hunter, he is more supportive than a lot of brother-sister, you can't do that cliches that these movies typically fall into. I like that they showed how capable Naru is throughout the movie, played expertly by Amber Midthunder. Like, she is going to be an absolute star. Cast her in more things. And I do want to apologize. I do, because I mistook her for the actress who plays Letty on Mayans, and that was my mistake. Amber Midthunder deserves her own recognition and an apology for mistaking her for another actress. What's cool about this too is that all the Native Americans are played by actual Native Americans. They didn't take Latinos and try to make them look Native American. They used actual Native American actors, which is incredible. This cast is mostly Native American, except for the Predator, who we know is British. Having such a cool Native American presence on screen and doing it in such an authentic way, this is going to be life-changing for any Native American movie fans who are tired of seeing themselves as just a plot point on the journey of the white man, like Pocahontasing or Dances with Wolves. But this is awesome to show a capable female lead in a Predator movie who is also Comanche. It's so cool, and I love seeing that kind of representation in film. And I think that's what makes Prey work for me so much, is that it is so different. We've seen the commandos, we've seen the macho, we've seen Bill Duke dry shave in the woods, in the jungle. We've seen that. But to see a smaller female be capable and have the ingenuity to tie a rope to her tomahawk, which makes her Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, that is awesome. Okay, Gavin, yeah, we get it. The Native American cast is great, but what about that Predator? How's the Pretty Boy doing? Well, the Predator in this is dope as hell. You don't see him a lot. He's more in the background, more camouflage in the shadows, kind of an omnipotent presence through the first half of the movie, but he has some really cool reveals. There's a scene where it's in the trailer, where the Predator's fighting a bear. He kills a bear, holds the bear over his head, and then blood pours down on the camouflaged Predator, and you can kind of see the outline of the Predator in the blood, and it is metal AF. I've seen some people online complain about the CGI in this movie. It never bothered me. I didn't notice any CGI. I saw somebody say that it looked like they were straight out of the PlayStation 3 era. I never got that feeling at all. I thought the CGI looked great. Also, I'm not a trained visual effects artist, so maybe it does look like shit. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Unless you're the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns, half rock, half scorpion, I can't tell if it looks bad. Something the movie did not have to do, but did, which I appreciate, is they show that the Predator is not the only threat to the Native Americans. They have a scene with French colonizers who are coming in. You see this field of buffalo just killed and skinned, and you think, oh, the Predator killed these buffalo. But no, it turns out it's the French colonizers killing the buffalo, not for their meat, not for any sort of survival, just for their pelts, which shows that there are bigger threats looming in the world. And as you know, if you read any history, you kind of know how that goes for Native Americans. But Predator fights. Let's talk about how Naru deals with the Predator. She deals with the Predator like a badass. Like there's no other way to describe it. She goes toe to toe with the Predator. She fights. She uses her skills as a Comanche to fight them. She also has a good boy doggy with her the whole time, which is like, oh, doggy. And if you're spoiler, dog doesn't die. So if you're worried, if you're one of those people that doesn't like seeing animals get killed, dogs, cats, whatever, you can watch this movie because the dog does not die. Happy ending for our doggo. But yeah, Naru holds her own against the Predator. Tabe also gets into the fight at times, but the Predator, he's still the Predator, so he kills a ton of people in this in very cool and creative ways. And I like that they kind of nerfed how the Predator fights in this. He doesn't have the plasma cannons. He doesn't have like that whip that kills people. He's got his weapons, but they seem to be of the time, like 300 years prior to what we see in Predator or Predator 2. So he's a little bit underpowered this time out. He's still a Predator and will still kill everybody, but a lot of arm blade fighting, a lot of, he kills people with his shield. He still has that cool retractable net thing that'll turn you into cubes. So that was neat, but I like that he didn't have a plasma cannon, because if you're going up against an indigenous tribe with a plasma cannon, that's just not fair. The Predators are all about hunting for sport, hunting honorably. So for them to have, instead of shooting lasers, they shoot darts, I liked it. But this Predator, absolutely tough as nails, absolutely cool to see. Also, when the Predator gets his mask knocked off, you see that they have a different design for the Predator, and I like seeing the different evolutions of Predator and the different takes on it. This is an older Predator from 300 years prior, so maybe they evolved into what they look like now over time. But yes, to see a more primal, feral Predator, I like seeing that. I always like seeing what they're gonna do with the Predator, because it is such a cool, iconic creature design. Stan Winston, you knocked out of the park again with the Predator, and just a great design. Now for the part where people might disagree with me. You might agree that Prey is a great movie. You might agree that Prey is the best sequel to Predator, but what I said early on was, this is the best Predator movie they've ever done. And I stand by that. I am not trying to diminish the effect or just how iconic Predator 1987 actually is. It is a great movie. It's amazing. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, Bill Duke, all those great cast members in that movie. Absolutely incredible. But if you want to go on what movie has a better story, which movie is shot better, and which movie is better well written, which movie has more developed characters. Prey is the better movie. And that's not saying that if I had a choice between putting on as background noise Predator or Prey, I'm going to choose the original Predator every time because it's background noise. I know what happens. It's a very dumb, turn your brain off type movie. But Prey is much deeper than that. The story of a woman trying to prove herself to her tribe, and in doing so, she has to fight the Predator. You have it's set in the past. You've got the colonizer storyline. You've got the story of family. The characters grow in Prey, something that doesn't really happen in Predator. Not that they had to, it's still a great movie, and I don't want people to take away with, Gavin said the first Predator sucks. He only likes this new woke stuff. Speaking of woke, I'll get to that in a minute. I like old stuff. I appreciate the old Predator movie, but Prey is a better movie. It's a better film. I loved Prey, I did. And for the woke stuff, because I've seen a lot of people online, even before the movie came out, say, oh, we gotta have a woman fight the Predator now? What is this? Women can't fight predators. Women give birth to babies, okay? Which is way tougher sometimes than fighting a predator, okay? I've got a sister who's got 2 kids. I'm pretty sure at times she would tell you she would have rather fought a predator. But this idea that anything that stars a non-white man in the title role is somehow woke it's fucking stupid. Maybe you didn't like this movie for real, legitimate, grown-up reasons. Like maybe you did think the CGI was bad, maybe you didn't like the storytelling, maybe you didn't like it being set in the past. You just wanted more of the same, and that is fine. You don't have to like this movie. I'm not thinking any less of anybody who does not like Prey. However, if your main gripe of this movie is woman lead movie, me not like, you're a idiot, okay? Women exist, Native Americans exist, non-white men exist in movies, and they need more representation. Not everything is woke just because you're a dipshit. Rant over. I'm gonna get so many hate comments right now. I just bring them on. I ain't got time to bleed. But I did love Prey. I think it's a great cinematic experience. I'm really bummed it didn't get a theatrical release. Considering how shitty some of the other ones were that got a theatrical release, it's a real bummer that Prey didn't get the same treatment because Prey would look awesome on the big screen. Just the scale of the fights. I'm really disappointed that they sent this one straight to Hulu instead of The Predator, which sucks. But overall, what did you think? Are you a fan of Prey? Did you not like it? Let me know why you didn't like it, or if you loved it, let me know if you loved it. And again, if you didn't love it because it was too woke, yeah, don't even comment. I'll just delete it. I'll delete it. I will. Don't care that much. But let me know in the comments below what you thought about Prey. As always, would love if you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and as always, until next time, if it bleeds, we can kill it.